So wherever you're at in your own experience, whether you're going through like a big struggle, a big challenge in your life, or you're actually like starting to experience peace or bliss, or perhaps you've been on the path a long time and you feel a little stagnant. You just want like some inspiration. Or perhaps you're like so in love with life and you're tuning in and you're like, I just want to see what this guy's all about, what ZenShred's all about. Because I love tuning into the essence of inspiration. I feel like that is our highest state of being. That is like where the child lives from a state of imagination, a state of wonder, a state of awe. The kid's already in that state. And this world has trained us, has hammered us. It's hammered the child out of us. So doing inner child work, starting to honor that inner child within us, like kudos to you if you're on that path. I imagine you are if you're listening to this video. But allowing the kid back into your life, there's no greater joy. There's no greater happiness. Because it's spontaneous. You stop judging yourself because you're so in love with life. You've connected into the intelligence of your heart. You've connected to your divine path. You've connected to God. God becomes less and less of a mystery in the sense that you just know God. Yeah, what shows up and how God works, that will always be a mystery. But you've learned how to regulate your nervous system. You've learned how to tune in and relax yourself. And the greatest practice that has supported me to starting to relax the contractions, the fascial holding patterns in my body, the tension in the body, like that takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort to close. It takes a lot of effort to hold, right? So as you start to soften your body, liberation of life force. And then we come back, we contract, and then we open, and we contract. So Kundalini Yoga is a practice of opening. It's a practice of fine-tuning your instrument of consciousness, your mind, your body, your energy. As someone that I was so like into high performance and like being the best version of myself from the very Western mindset of I got to develop myself. And that's still a part of my path. But once you connect to meditation and you get into more yogic Eastern philosophy, what becomes way more interesting is not the question of like, how do I become the best version of myself? It's more like who am I already underneath all of these layers of contraction and closure? Who am I in my expression when I'm totally liberated and free? That's a way more interesting question, I feel like. And ironically, the part of you that wants to develop itself, it meets up with the part of you that is you. You've always been you underneath it all. So I'd say that the nature of life is to evolve and to expand, is to grow our perspective, is to make our body healthier, stronger, more vital. We can do that in so many ways. I go to the weight room, I lift 3 days a week, and I do breath work and yoga every single day. So I have a myriad of practices to bring me back into a state of health with all the bullshit that's happening in today's world, in the healthcare, more like the sick care system. There's a lot of things that are working against our health, and that when we take ownership and responsibility of every part of our experience, health is at the forefront of what I feel like living a fulfilled, joyful, free life, giving, serving to others, having the ability to expand ourselves bigger than ourselves, seeing ourselves in others, and wanting to honor, wanting to learn, like, how can I communicate? How can I show up in a way that, like, is honoring to other people? Because my happiness, my joy is it's directly related to yours and the people around me in my life. So the mechanics of coming back into a state of flow, which I say is our natural state, is giving up the belief that you need to get back to a state of flow because everything's already in flow. A better inquiry is to see, where are you resisting life? Where are you resisting the flow of the river? Because yes, it can be challenging to trust, to have faith in life when all you have is evidence on why life fucking sucks, why it's so bad from your past. But I would say that however you as a soul have curated your past is perfect to live the life that you came here to live. And in fact, you couldn't live the life that you came here to live unless you went through the things that you went through in your past. That's often the paradox of life, is the lotus flower, it blossoms from the mud, from the shit. And it can take a while to be in the shit and learn, okay, what is this shit all about? As Rumi says, the light, it enters through the dark. So until we make the unconscious conscious, it will direct our life, and you will call it fate. And the light enters through the wound, through the pain, through the struggle, through the challenge. That is where our greatest gifts live. And if we're brave enough, courageous enough, because we're calling on God, God's love, God's courage, God's honor is brave enough to face off with what you as a human being feel like is too much. Because believe me, I am not where I'm at because of my own willpower and strength. It's a part of it. But more allowing space for the mystery, allowing space to let go and trust that life has a plan, has a path. And I believe the same thing for you. So I never know how long these videos are going to go. I don't know if I'm going to split this up into a few parts. I've gotten recommendations on splitting it up because I offer so much information, and I realize that my mind works in a way that today's day and age, today's world, it doesn't speak from where I'm speaking from. So I trust that if you're listening to what I'm speaking here, that on some level this resonates with you, and it's an honor to have you here. And I don't know where this journey is going to go, and I trust the natural flow of my intelligence, and that's where I feel fulfilled, sharing from this space. If I shared from a ChatGPT prompt and structured it beautifully, it wouldn't make me as happy. Because I think on some level I'd be compromising the path that has already been laid out in front of me. It's not to say structure isn't important. I think structure is immensely important for our lives. So we can get into structure and flow perhaps on a later video. Some people call it the masculine and the feminine energies, dynamics. I don't like getting too caught up in that because I think we've polarized them as opposites, and I think that's just absolutely silly. So if you have any questions, if you like this video, please like, And if you're feeling called, subscribe. It's a joy to have you here. All right. Be well.